Sandra Barret is an award-winning author of science fiction and urban fantasy stories where strong women save the day. When not writing, she's reading, gardening, and occasionally digging holes way too deep in the back of her historic home in hopes of finding something more interesting than coal slag. Sandra, take it away.
Hello, everyone. So today, as you said, I'm reading from Blood Memory. This is the second novella in my Vampire Jade Murphy Diary series. And I will be giving away one copy of this ebook after the reading. So you want to sign up, like she said. So Jade is a 150-year-old vampire who prefers drinking her blood from stolen blood bags instead of directly from humans. It's less messy that way. We join the story where she's going to rescue a vampire friend, Carrie, from a human stalker turned kidnapper. The trip to Suffolk Downs lasted only minutes. Finding the old grandstand building took even less time, as I couldn't miss its obvious glass exterior reflecting the lightning sky. The start of a headache from the rising sun itched behind my eyes, but the gray cloud cover would work in our favor. This bastard either knew about vampire sun sickness or hoped we'd be in danger from sunlight. Either way, he was in for a surprise. I entered the building at full alert. The abandoned grandstand stood mostly intact, the rows of red seats all folded closed with years of dust and dirt along the top of each. I heard movement from the upper level seats. A grin spread across my face that I'm sure looked nothing like happiness. Payback time, asshat. I raced up the nearest staircase with vamp speed to take him by surprise. The surprise was mine and Carrie's when we came face to face across a row of red viewing seats. "You don't look in trouble," I said. "Neither do you." I took out my phone and showed her the text messages I'd gotten earlier that night. "How about this one?" she said, showing me a similar message, but with me as the damsel in distress. "You fell for that?" I asked. She glared at me. "So did you. And why didn't you answer any of my text messages?" I shrugged. "Same reason you didn't answer mine. That map attachment he sent us to get here must be malware." I stared at my phone. The fucker owes me a new phone now. Leaned against the metal railing of the nearest stairwell. So why did he want us both here at the same time? Do not ask questions you're not prepared for the answer. I didn't so much hear the explosion first as felt the pressure pop in my ears. I did feel the roof collapse on us. God, I felt that shit fast. Being close to the stairwell probably kept me intact. I opened my eyes to partial darkness and to pressure on my chest that would have killed a human. As a vampire, I was just pissed off. I shoved the biggest chunk of something off my head and chest, leaving behind bloody scrapes that were already healing by the time I kicked the remaining debris off my legs. Well, mostly kicked off. Anger made room for searing pain where metal rebar pierced my thigh and blood poured out. A lot of blood. My hand shook as I tried to examine where the bar ended and I began. Red and slick with my own blood, I grabbed the bar and pulled. And screamed. Shit, that hurt. Blood still streaming out of me, I crawled to my knees. I'd landed halfway down the staircase. White dust filled the air from the explosion, so it took me a moment to realize I couldn't see my friend anywhere. "Carrie?" I dragged myself up the chunks of roof and chairs that covered the staircase to get back to the second level. Even a vampire needed some time and fresh blood to heal this type of injury, and meanwhile, it hurt like hell. The second story was a mess. The clouds showed above where most of the roof used to be, and a sizable portion of the second level sat now on the first level. I looked down the hole next to the staircase I'd just come up. "Carrie?" Vampire hearing detected a muffled sound. She lay buried under that pile. Time to make like a superhero and jump in the hole. So I jumped. And I hollered because I wasn't thinking about doing a one-legged jump. Fuck. Carrie didn't holler. That meant either I didn't land near her or she wasn't conscious anymore. Fingers crossed for the former, eh? Dragged myself back to the center of the pile and started shoving chunks of roof across the remaining seats. Carrie's body surfaced under the rubble, her hand first, bent at an unnatural angle. I uncovered her head, then her chest, and finally her legs. Vampires don't need a pulse or to breathe, so it wasn't easy to determine if she was still alive. But I went with the pragmatic evaluation that this wasn't enough to end her. I hoisted her broken body over my shoulder and stumbled and slid down the remaining staircase to the first floor. That's when I saw him, Mr. Stalker, silhouetted by the daylight streaming through the door I'd just come in earlier. Turner, Mr. Stalker, was too fucking stupid to realize his danger. Too fucking stupid to recognize the rage building in a pissed off vampire with anger management issues. I lunged for him, dropping Carrie somewhere along the way, and I did what I hadn't done in decades. I sank my fangs into human, sank them deep and drank. I don't know if I consciously thought of erasing his memories of us or just attacked him to recharge myself with his blood, or maybe neither. Rage doesn't make for quality decisions. Turner's memories poured into me with every ounce of his blood. I could ignore them at first, the fury inside me blocking out everything else. Fresh blood and human memories took over at some point. Took over in a bad way. Never drink straight from the vein. Never, never. My mind wasn't entirely my own anymore. I felt like I was in a dark tunnel. The real me pushed farther and farther back. The new me, the Donald Turner me, taking over. I dropped to the floor and curled into a ball. No. I felt myself slip away, and what took over was bad. Bad as bad could be. I resisted with all I had in me. I could hear myself whimpering as I fought my mental battle. I fought, and I lost. Thank you.